It's known as near-death experience, and someone who's made a special study of the subject is British neuroscientist Peter Fenwick.
Near-death experience is surprisingly common. In the Gallup poll in the States, 15%, that's 15% of Americans have had a near-death experience. And 5%, that's 1 million Americans, have been in what they call the light. It's an amazing number of people.
And what is it these people actually see and feel?
You may leave your body and watch what's going on down below. You may walk around an accident site, for example. And then you'll go down the tunnel. Now, the tunnel is most interesting. It's either described as a blackness and you're floating, but some people see a real tunnely tunnel. Then you see a spot of light at the end of the tunnel, which gets bigger and bigger. You may go into it. And as you enter into the light, it has the most wonderful characteristics. It's enormously bright, but it doesn't hurt your eyes, and it's composed of universal love.
One of the most interesting parts of the near-death experience to me, these patients will tell us that in the closing moments of their life, often in the presence of this being of love who is with them, that they see a panorama before them which consists of every single thing that they've ever done in their lives, from the moment of their birth right through the time of their close call with death. And they say that they see it all simultaneously, not with the events in temporal sequence, but rather all display there at once in a way that they find very difficult to describe.
With the light, there is this panoramic view of my life. It starts with birth. It continues right on to where we are at this point. All at the same time, I am part of the view, as well as watching it. I am actually doing these things. I guess it's a speeded up version of a camera that just runs double time or something. But I actually had the feelings of what was going on as I saw it, and also standing off to the side and being able to look around and look at the different things that went on at different times in my life.
I saw all my life, but it's in that dimension which cannot be described. This was holographical view of being inside of your life, and then being as a viewer, participating the play of theater which happening there. But it is you, and you know that you are this.
I had a panoramic view of my life, every feeling, every thought, every action, every deed, all at the same time. The same time. And as it started happening, I began to see how I affected the person that I had the encounter with, or the experience, whether it be me personally, or whether it be someone else. And then how they were affected. How it was one step removed from us and how they were affected. And believe me, there is nothing hidden in your life.
As a psychiatrist, I must say that I am tremendously impressed by the impact that these experiences have on people's lives, because I'm well aware of the difficulty, not just in my patients' lives, but in my life, of getting a handle on neurotic problems that we all afflict ourselves with. And when you see that with these people who are so transformed by this experience in such a rapid manner, that it is really impressive.
After having gone back to Vietnam 2 more times, and I found that on the second 2 times down there that I could absolutely not shoot a gun. I just couldn't do it. I carried one, but I didn't fire the weapon at all. And I had plenty of opportunity to do that. And so I thought perhaps it was time to end that portion of my life.
What prevented you from using your weapon?
God wouldn't let me. The light would not let me do it. When I came into a situation like that, I would remember what it meant to me.
What I heard him say is not uncommon. After having a transcendental experience, after encountering what seems to be God, after merging with the light, after becoming peace yourself, it's very difficult to go out and then participate in destruction, death, and war any further, because simply your perspective on who you are has changed. Your perspective on what you're doing has changed.
Absolutely, that's the moment my life changed. That is the moment my life changed. When I came back, my heart is filled, and you would describe this as being on fire. Your heart feels like your heart's on fire. And it's on fire with love, okay? The sensation of love that I experienced as I was going through the out-of-body experience has retained itself. I'm there. It's in me. It hasn't gone away.
Today, Gordon has severed all links with business and left the world of money far behind. He's now a qualified counselor and uses his new understanding to help others change their lives.
The richness of the life that I have today is like the Sistine Chapel compared to a plain, drab little room somewhere. I mean, it's just, you can't put it in words, the richness of the life that I have today. Even though I live a very modest life, drive a very modest car, the richness that has been provided to me today. And this is not in any way social or economic or anything that we could measure by the standards that we normally make.
The message that they get from these kinds of encounters is that their ordinary lives are filled with purpose and meaning. Typically, a child will say to me, "Gosh, I learned that I have a job to do."
I was pretty much lifted up by the back of my neck and slowly, very slowly lifted out of this pit. A voice told me, "You have work to do, and if you continue to live the life you are, this is where you're going to spend eternity."